Yeah, check them out, show them some love, and without further ado, let's go into the game. Looks like we're gonna have a ZVZ on Blue Storm. Of course, it is by law. You must say the map name like that, or else you are not a true esports fan. That is the law of esports in the Gospel of Day 9. In the top right, as the blue Zerg, we are going to have TechnicS representing Eastern Europe. And in the bottom left, as the purple Protoss, we're going to have Sziky. Sziky's off racing, guys! Sziky is off racing. Of course, Sziky is the recent ISL 2 champion. But he was playing Zerg to win that one, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you of this important fact as soon as I get the overlay fixed. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, I'll tell you something exciting. I know you guys are really excited to know what I have to say, but just give me 2 seconds. Alright, so the colors are purple and blue. Boom. Sweet. So, now you might be wondering, Sziky playing Protoss? How can he beat TechnicS? I mean, TechnicS, he's not like some, random C+ player. TechnicS is a solid, good player. I mean, recently he qualified. He got to the semifinals of the Gosu Cup and qualified for their group stage, beating several good players on the way. So he's definitely a solid player. But Sziky's Protoss actually is quite good. You know how I know this? Because he actually beat me in a PvP. That's right. I know what you guys are thinking. What? Somebody beat you in a PvP, Sayle? How could it be? It cannot be. And that's what I thought. That was my reaction as well. How could anybody beat me in a PvP? But Sziky did it, man. Sziky, he did it. He owned me. He crushed me. And then he lulled, and he was like, PvP is my best matchup. I was like, what? You're Zerg? That doesn't make sense. He's like, I'm Sziky, man. What do you want me to say? So that's my little story. Anyway. We do have a Nexusu first from Sziky, since he did scout the 12 hatch. I think he actually tried to block it. See, he went for the forge first, and he tried to block the hatchery, but he didn't actually block it properly, so then he just canceled the forge and went for a Nexus. I think that's what just happened. I was pretty caught up in my story, but I think that's what just happened, so just letting you guys know. Then you guys know what's up. In the meantime, Sziky gonna do a wall here. Now, is this a proper wall? It looks like it is. It looks like it is, although it looks like it walls himself in, so he's gonna have to kill one of these buildings to get Dragoons out. But I mean, Blue Storm is a ridiculously hard map to wall on, and Sziky's done a decent job. It's actually a pretty nice job. I think if the pylon was 1 hex to the left, that would be even better, because then you see it would be flush with the cannon, and then he would have a 1 hex path on the side that he can get units out of. So I think this pylon is just off by 1 hex, but it's absolutely fine. Meanwhile, TechnicS has taken the mineral only here as his third. So obviously not as ideal as taking as a gas base, but that's fine. It's much closer than say the bottom right or the 12 o'clock, which would be the expected 4th bases for TechnicS. Anyways, do have probes transferring over and going to build a cybernetics core here in the wall, which is fine. He doesn't actually have another pylon yet, so he doesn't have any more power where he could place that. Sending out... no, that's actually the original probe. So just going to fly around a little bit. And... gonna see nothing out of the ordinary. Uh-oh. Oh, he's gonna see no gas, though. And he's going to come over here and he's going to see a 4th hatchery, so TechnicS doing some 4 hatch in action. Is he actually going to go up to 5 hatches? It looks like he might. He's still not taking gas. I think TechnicS might be going 5 hatch Hydra, guys. Oh my goodness, could he have been infected by Justine disease? How unfortunate. I think he's going for 5 hatch. He's got a lot of minerals and no gas. Oh my goodness, 5 hatch Hydra on Blue Storm. This is going to be very interesting, and indeed, there is the 5th hatchery! Wow, alright, now, let's see how he follows this up. He should take 2 gases immediately. Indeed he is, he's actually doing this by the book. Where's Elarum? No one. Somebody get Justine in here. Somebody get Justine because TechnicS is doing his build. He's doing the build. Yeah. By the way, so if anybody actually is wondering what the hell I'm talking about, if you want to know how to do this build, this is the 5-patch Hydra build. There is a guide in the Team Liquid Brood War strategy forum, written by none other than Elarum No One himself. Although I believe this is originally Chosen's build, who is now known as Chef, Liquid Chef, but this was his build back in Brood War days, back in his Brood War days. Anyway. Where's the... Wait, did I just click the den? Where's the den? Where the den at? Ah, there it is. Okay, it's in the main. In the meantime, a few lings at the narrow exit here, just gonna prevent any probes from moving out. But it looks like the probe's going to the top left. So, I mean, oh, looks like we have +1/+1. So we're gonna have some Sayle Zealot action here coming out of Sziky. But let me kind of explain what's like what this build is good for and what it's not compared to like a normal 3-hatch layer 3-hatch Spire 5-hatch Hydra. So obviously your layer tech is going to be a lot slower, as is your overload speed. All your layer tech is going to be really slow. But what you're going to do is you're going to play a little bit defensive. You're going to get a few Hydras, so you should be able to defend against the Corsair, only losing maybe an Overlord or two. And you get a lot of drones and a lot of Hydras very quickly. So obviously in the early game, since you're delaying your gas, you're just getting more hatcheries. You can get a ton of economy, and then once your economy kicks in, you have 5 hatchers, and you just swamp with a ton of Hydralisks. So you get a ridiculous number of Hydras really quickly, and it's pretty hard for Protoss to actually push out safely. I mean, storms are nice, but the number of Hydras that the Zerg can get from this is actually just silly. And you know, as long as he positions his Hydras well and you know keeps his Overlords near his base. He can defend them fine. He's in a pretty good spot. Of course, the downside is that you know your layer tech is much slower. You don't have Overlord speed. You have no threat of getting mutas or anything like that. So I think it's perhaps a little bit less flexible. I want to say. Well, in terms of like the amount of various strategies that you could. Or the amount of deviations that you can do off of it. Anyway, an evolution chamber has been constructed at the 3rd base. Kind of in an interesting position here. I'm wondering if he's going to build like a double wall. Obviously there is this kind of back entrance into the mineral only, so I don't know. He's going to build a wall on the front, wall on the back. That'd be pretty funny. Anyway, he's going to get range attack, and it looks like Sziky is going to get the 3rd base here. I think the Link did get close enough to see at least a pylon though, so he's going to be aware of this. And, by the way, I think the note about this map... Whoa, what is this? Go away, go away. I think the note about this map is that this choke point, it's, Dragoons can't go through there, so what will usually happen is that the Protoss will rally all their gateways kind of up here onto this high ground, or perhaps sometimes even up as far as here, near their 3rd base. So usually it's pretty safe to take that 3rd, and then, you know, you get all your units out there and it's fine. Meanwhile, the 2 Corsairs of Sziky still scouting around here. Man, it's so weird, like... calling the Protoss Sziky, because, you know, I've casted so many games where he's Zerg. It's like really weird. I think this is actually the first time I've seen him play an off race. Yeah. Anyway, 77, 80 supply now for TechnicS, 79 for Sziky, very close. Looks like a few High Templars running out here. It looks like the DTs came all the way back. I think you should have split them up. Maybe sent one to the 12 o'clock, one to the bottom right. Looks like there's a random probe here. Because, of course, those are going to be the obvious expansion locations of TechnicS. And indeed, looks like he's going to take the bottom right here. Meanwhile, a lot of Hydras moving up to the high ground pod outside the 3rd. But the cannons are finished, and there's a couple High Templar. Looks like Sziky's actually going to use the DTs as part of his army, which... I mean, at this stage in the game, I'm not a huge fan of. I'd much rather they be out on the map, you know, denying expos and just being generally annoying. But... Sziky actually has a pretty small army, so perhaps that's fine. I don't know. I mean, you know, Sziky, I don't want to question him. He's the ISL2 champion. It's like, I don't want to say he's doing anything wrong, because then he'll just be like, really? Really? You want to go? You want to go? Because I really don't want to go with Sziky. If it goes down to the parking lot, man, I'm going to be done. So TechnicS trying to be cute, coming around the backside, but not really making anything happen. What would be really cool was if he had lurkers already and he could just like make 2 lurkers and borrow them back here and deny mining. That would be quite sweet, but instead it looks like he's going to double expand and take 6 o'clock and the bottom right. Of course, his economy is quite strong. He can support that. He's got a lot of drones. So yeah, it's quite nice. Making even more drones right now. It looks like the natural's a little bit... Well, no, the natural's fine. Getting a second evolution chamber. And already going up to Hive, so going up for pretty quick Hive. Looks like Lurkers is about halfway done, but Sziky is going for an attack here, although his High Templars are all in the back, and the Hydras are coming in the back. The High Templars might get sniped. Oh my goodness, Sziky, this is such a fundamental error, and I think it's probably just because he's not used to playing Protoss. Oh man, these slow High Templars, he's going to lose one of them, but he does get a Storm off. But, come on, just bring the army back, don't lose the Templars. Oh, nice Storm. And it looks like he's going to take down the 4th base. But these Templars, they're so expensive. Sziky, keep them alive. Keep them alive, please. And doesn't get the Storm off. But he's actually got a decent number of units, though. I don't know if TechnicS even has enough here to take this down without Storms. Yeah, it looks like TechnicS going to have to do some fancy Hydro Micro, actually, if he wants to win this engagement. Especially with the 2 DTs here, they're actually going to do a lot of damage. Whoa. Ruh-roh. I thought Sziky made a pretty costly error there, which he did, you know, to be fair. That was a pretty bad mistake, but I think he's actually okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, is that only 5 gateways? 6 gateways plus the one at the wall. Sending out another probe here, perhaps thinking about expanding. There are 2 Hydras to deny that, and it looks like the Zealots have actually run into the natural of TechnicS. I don't know where all his units are. It looks like a few Hydras coming in from the back, and the Zealots are going to run into the main. It looks like most of the units are near the 6 o'clock for whatever reason. 4 Zealots going to run into the main. There is a sunken there. The rest of them going to take out some drones to the natural. Sziky doing a great job with his multitask and of course a huge drone pool. They're actually all just going to go down to the 6 o'clock, but the 3 Zealots though are being AFK. Looks like he can't kill the sunken, he thinks. So he's just going to keep them alive. He's going to... Oh, look at this. He's actually hiding them in the top left of the main base of TechnicS. Going to use them later on as part of... or when he goes for a big attack, he'll just send them into the main, and then TechnicS will not be able to multitask, or hopefully not be able to multitask. But look at this base layout, by the way. This is okay, let me tell you guys what this is. This is a base built, a Protoss base built by a Zerg player. I mean, this is just so telling that Sziky is not really a Protoss player, because man, this building layout, this base layout is just terrible. Look at how like inefficient it is. Look at these random shapes that he's making. Because I mean, Zergs, you know, they have like not that many buildings. As long as you can SimCity nicely, you know, as long as you can, you know, make a line of hatcheries and put sunkens behind them, you're good to go. But with Protoss of Terran, you actually have to, you know, make buildings in good locations. Anyway, oh man, kind of losing my voice a little bit. Hopefully I can survive. Sziky's actually taking the 12 o'clock as kind of a hidden expo, but oh man, he actually built the cannon a little bit too close. I think the Overlord's going to see it, but I think if he builds a gateway here, it'll be completely tight. That will actually be probe tight as well though, so perhaps he doesn't want to do that, but anyway. We do have an engagement here. There's no observer in the army, so he's going to have to run away from these lurkers. Looks like he's going to actually just run past them into the 6 o'clock base here. Sziky being extremely active with his army, and it's working nicely for him. He's going to take out another base. Is he going to storm the drones or the drones or the units? It looks like the Zealots are actually going to kill all the drones, so he's got... Wow, he's actually got no storms. These Templar both only have 60 energy. Oh man, could you imagine a storm right here? Oh no! He needs 10 more energy, but I don't think he's going to get it. No, the Templar are going to be focused down, so he will not get the money storms off. Meanwhile, the bottom right is being taken, and the 3 Zealots. This Overlord is spotting like everything. Does he see the 3 Zealots? I don't know if he does. But, oh, looks like Sziky's going to use them now. He's at 95 supply against the 105 for TechnicS. TechnicS